Hi, everybody, and welcome to your full moon lunar eclipse pick a card reading for September 7th, 2025. This will be happening at 21 degrees Aquarius in sidereal astrology. Take your time, pick your pile, and I'll put timestamps down below. Feel free to watch more than one pile if you feel called to do so. Thank you. We'll see you in your selected pile. Hi, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. You chose the possum number 23. The title of this card is Diversion. Possum's greatest form of protection is to play dead. In doing this, possum confuses many a predator into believing that the game is over. Oftentimes, the confused rival walks away or looks the other direction for a moment, and possum runs to safety. If a possum has turned up in your cards, you are being asked to use strategy in some present situation. Rely upon your instincts for the best way out of a tight corner. If you have to pretend to be apathetic or unafraid, do it. Oftentimes, if you refuse to struggle or show that hurtful words bother you, your taunter will see no further fun in the game. Warriors have used possum medicine for centuries, playing dead when the enemy nears and outnumbers them. Then in a flash, when the enemy is least expecting it, the war cry is heard. The fright of this serves to further confuse the unsuspecting opposition. Victory is sweet when the strategy is one of mental as well as physical prowess. Possum may be relaying to you that you are to expect the unexpected and be clever in achieving your victory. This could be a victorious over a bothersome salesman or a nosy neighbor. In essence, Possum is beckoning you to use your brain, your sense of drama, and surprise to leap over some barrier to your progress. So, eclipses always bring changes into our lives. They remove blockages. So here we are removing a block from a path of progress for you by using some kind of strategy approach or surprise, the element of surprise. And that's really does tie into this eclipse because we have Uranus, the planet of the unexpected, the surprise, that stations direct September 6th, just the day before this eclipse. So, and Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury, the trickster god. Mercury will be conjunct the new moon solar eclipse later in the month, so we have a huge influence there too of that mercurial energy, outwitting your opponent and just playing like 4D chess. Or this lunar eclipse could unearth somebody who's been deceptive towards you. Maybe they led you to believe something about themselves, and now here you're going to unearth the truth. So let's see what the rest of your oracle cards have to say, and then we'll add some tarot to clarify. So your archetype card is the desert, number 37. Perhaps you just took a trip to the desert, or you live there, or maybe you're feeling like your life is in a drought. And your alchemy is the sublimation. So that's when things transform rapidly from a solid to a gas state. They're skipping over that liquid state. It's so intense and instantaneous. And this purple color of the crown chakra just gives a strong connection to source. Of course, with the bird taking flight there as well, elevation of consciousness. Again, getting a higher perspective. We have the hermit, retreat and recharge. So there may be some actions that you have to do in taking care of your health and your everyday routine that keeps you grounded and centered. We do have a new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, which is the ruler of the hermit, also ruled by Mercury. And that will be on September 21st. So there is a huge release here, and then it's time to draw in. It's time to really retreat in toward that solar eclipse at the end of the month. Or even, you taking on the energy of the possum playing dead, right? This hermit's in a deep meditative pose. Maybe you're cutting off communication or detoxing things from your life, or like people can't reach you. You're in a dead zone with your phone having a signal, some kind of disconnect from the rest of the world during this powerful time. All right, so the desert card is titled The Drought, the Wasteland, the Badlands. So maybe it feels like there is an absence or a drought of creativity or romance or finance in your life. So let's see what the book can tell us more. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort and all must pass through it. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and the sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. And the side note adds, the desert is alive and pulsing with energy despite its desolate appearance. Turn toward it rather than away from it. So, again, it has to do with that things not appearing as they seem. There's more to the desert than just the hot, dry day. There's plenty of life and activity in the desert, but in looking at this Virgo card in health, some of you, it feels like, need to undergo some kind of fasting. I'm not a medical professional, always consult with them first, but it could have to do with a dry fast or just some kind of electronic fast. You're having to maybe work on breaking an addiction to something, just taking a period of rest for your mind, body, and soul from a certain activity or substance. That's going to possibly give you the clarity of sight that you need in order to advance, like how to get this strategy to outwit your opponent or to remove this blockage from your life. This might give you the clarification, the explanation as to why you've been held back or things have felt desolate for such a long period of time, but it'll help you get things moving again. And that movement is obvious in the Sublimatio card because its title is Elevation, Rising, and Flight. Sublimatio is the great alchemical operation of air. So Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, this is a full moon lunar eclipse in Aquarius, an air sign. So it occurs when there's enough heat to change a solid substance into gas, causing it to rise up, up, and away. Therefore, when sublimation is present, there is an aspect of celebrated elevation, of ascending above and gaining a greater perspective. Birds in flight, mountain peaks, ladders, and balloons are all sublimatio images, so you might see those around this full moon or shortly after, letting you know what weight you've released in order to help you ascend. As with the operations, sublimatio has a shadow potential. Through ascension, there is a risk of separating from others, of sensing oneself higher or above. This risk is particularly great in spiritual traditions that offer a linear model of achievement. The divine alchemist rises humbly and supports the upliftment of others, always in touch with the cycle of humanity. Service is the natural balancing agent for sublimatio, and service is the 6th house, Virgo. It may be the next rung on your ladder. And the side note is dissociation is an example of sublimatio in shadow. When this card appears, reconnect with the feelings you'd rather avoid. Be with them rather than rising above them, and as avoiding them. You know, this might have to do with the inner work, the confrontation. Some of you are still clearing out parts of your shadow. So let's finish up with these two oracle cards. The Rose Oracle is Codes of the Seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. So once this clearing process becomes complete, you've achieved some kind of information, some downloads have been planted, some seeds have been planted in your subconscious mind. Work on fostering and watering those seeds of abundance or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest that's been blocked for so long. So now you have the new blueprint for your life because all is mind. It all begins with your mindset. If your mind is intoxicated or toxic, then it can't properly form a healthy plant. So we need to focus on clearing out and starting fresh soil, fresh water. That could mean a vacation, a move, a relocation, or just metaphorically or symbolically, you can recreate this in your garden. So, all right, let's see what your goddess card is. We have Hathor, receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So Hathor is the goddess mother. She's got, milk flowing. She is, the land of milk and honey, abundance, sustenance for growth, nurturing. So we have a seed, and then we have food for that seed to grow. So if you allow yourself to receive these seeds of consciousness, they will expand once you nurture them. Put your energy into them, and then that's going to increase your ability to give to others this knowledge or the benefits of this knowledge that you've reaped. So there's something you're able to do now that you couldn't before because you were blocked in that mindset. Okay, so let's get some more messages from the tarot to finish this reading for you. All right. Underneath your deck, the 8 of Swords. All right, again, the mind, the prison of the mind. And the possum is about outwitting your opponents, outwitting the blockages of your mind. So it's all mental for you. It is all in your head, you know, if someone's ever said that. But it's really is you. It's you're your own worst enemy when it comes to confidence. Maybe you're having problems with your solar plexus chakra. We do have the sun in Leo still for this lunar eclipse. You could be removing a blockage around that energy center. So let's see how we are escaping. The Eight of Swords, magic. Okay, yeah, really belief in yourself. Mercury too. Transmutation, we have the Sublimatio card there itself. So by working on balancing the energies within yourself as the magician, you know, earth, fire, air, water, masculine and feminine, things are coming through then, that portal, once that you've cleared it out of the blockage. The Tower, this is not in a negative context. This is, again, removing a blockage. It's destroying, imagine a dam, you know, holding back all this magic from your life, from flowing through your life, through being able to create the future you deserve rather than what you were programmed to believe. So it really is breaking through a limiting belief here. So we have some Mars destruction. First there's destruction before there's creation. And now we have the Father of Swords. That's clarity. That's the King of Swords coming through for you. Clear thought leads to clear manifestation. Clear. That's just the only picture I'm getting. Ace of Cups. New beginnings. Number 1. So emotional fulfillment. And this being the lotus flower coming through on the imagery is showing that you've grown through some adversity. Let's see if I can get a better picture. There we go. All right. So yeah, the lotus flower requires mud to grow. It has to experience the darkness. It had to dig deep to get into the shadow aspects in order to find the core of the blockage that was keeping this flower just below the surface from being able to bloom. There was something also maybe in your sacral area, the feminine, being able to receive, feeling worthy of receiving. So with that increase in self-worth and acknowledgement of, you know, this is what had to happen in order for me to receive this. It might have been related to some karma from past life or this life, but it was just the healing that had to take place in order for you able to receive this blessing. Okay, that was pretty tough. I apologize. But so you have the magic to make it happen. Things are coming into focus very clearly for you. I haven't done pile 2 yet, but it is a hawk, so if you've maybe called to watch that, maybe check it out. But let's see. Let's focus on finishing this reading, okay? And we get introspection as your journey card. No duh. So we've been talking about that with the Hermit. Synchronicities, all right, those are going to increase in frequency the closer you become aligned to your path. I'm seeing like a metal detector. As you're getting closer, the beeping increases in frequency. But it also just showing you the butterfly, the transformative aspect of the death and rebirth. You're coming out as the butterfly. Inner child, okay, yeah, the blockage could have stemmed from a childhood wound. But again, here we are coming out on the other side, inspired, awakened, seeing things clearly. And like this is enabling you, like Hathor says, it increases your ability to give to others. So maybe that's an inspiration that you have as a result of your journey and what you've learned from it. Okay, so it might be during this entire period of Uranus retrograde. Again, that's the Magician too. The higher octave of Mercury. Let's see what magic cards we have. Achievement, win the award, accolade, or contract. So you're winning this after this blockage is removed. That's no question. Self-confidence, we did mention the solar plexus, so strong belief and a sense of self-worth. I feel like you feel like you're worth healing now, pile 1. Underneath, we have a love charm, attract a lover, soulmate, or life partner. I just feel like you're going to be more attractive in general, energetically, manifesting what it is that you've planted with those new spiritual seeds. But also, you could attract a divine partner as a result, now that you've done this clearing. Then we have Trinket 5, manifesting money and income. So that is a certain unlock. Again, your ability to receive. Allow yourself to receive. Okay. All right. I think that's all I have for you, pile 1. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So you picked number 2, the hawk, and the hawk is the messenger of the sky. So circle my dreams and teach me the message as we fly. So it's the messenger. It also is Jupiter's eagle, which is Mercury. So the hawk is akin to Mercury, the messenger of the gods. Hawk medicine teaches you to be observant, to look at your surroundings, observe the obvious in everything that you do. Life is sending you signals. So this full moon is going to bring a lot of clarity to. A lot of things are coming to light, things that you may have overlooked in the past or that just can no longer be ignored. You're going to see them in full focus. So the reading goes on to say life is the initiation. If you have pulled the hawk card, then right now a clue about the magic of life is being brought to you. The magic can imbue you with the power to overcome a currently stressful or difficult situation. The test is your ability to observe the nuances of power lurking nearby. Is power the talent you have and are not using? Are solutions always hard to find because you have lost the broader vision of hawk? Or is the Great Spirit displaying a gift that you need only to receive? Have the colors of the morning inspired you to create, or has the gloominess of a present situation left you earthbound, unable to hear the voice within the raindrops splashing on your window? Pay attention. You are only as powerful as your capacity to perceive, receive, and use your abilities. What is called for here is an intuitive ability to discern the message carried within the cry of hawk. The shrillness of hawk's call pierces the state of unawareness and asks you to seek the truth. Well, we do have this lunar eclipse happening in Aquarius, an air sign. The ancients recognized this magnificent bird of prey as a messenger bringing tidings to their earth walk, the good red road from the world of the grandfathers and grandmothers who lived before them. If hawk were to magically cry, it was a signal to beware or be aware. This could mark the coming of a warring tribe, the birth of a child, or the celebration of counting coup. Hawk's cry signaled the need for a beholder to heighten awareness and receive a message. So we're working on the crown chakra, opening and receiving, as well as the third eye. The hawk medicine is a totem that is filled with responsibility. Because hawk people see the overall view, hawk is not like mouse who sees everything through a magnifying glass. Hawk medicine people are aware of omens, messages from the spirit, and the color of the calling card you gave them 3 months ago. No detail slips by them unnoticed. If hawk is circled and landed in your card spread, you are to be aware of signals in your life, so notice and receive them. Hawk may be teaching you to grab an opportunity which is coming your way. On the other hand, hawk may be bringing you the message that you should circle over your life and examine it from a higher perspective. From this vantage point, you may be able to discern the hazards which bar you from freedom of flight. Remember, hawk has a keen eye and a bold heart, for hawk flies close to the light of grandfather's sun. Okay. Some kind of freedom. Jupiter is the planet, not Jupiter, Uranus is the planet of freedom and the unexpected. So that's stationing retrograde September 6th, the day before this lunar eclipse. We're going to start by reading some of your oracle cards and then we'll clarify with the tarot. So your archetype card is the Pilgrim, going on a journey. Number 20 also showing up as Judgment in the traditional tarot. So you're in need of some kind of spiritual or physical journey, like the hawk was talking about. Maybe you guys are getting on a plane. You're getting a higher perspective on your life, maybe reflecting on the journey you've already been on, how far you've come, and how far you have yet to go. So this is also like an eye showing up in the center, having that keen insight, that hawk-eyed higher perspective too. I think a lot of you are going to get insight from your guides showing you, hey, this is how we see you. This is how we see your journey. And they're encouraging you not to be so hard on yourself and to give yourself credit where it's due and forgive yourself for stepping off the path or not, feeling connected to source all the time. But there's a reconnection here through introspection, through the journey of the self. We do have the new moon solar eclipse coming up at the end of the month too in Virgo. So that could be a time to cleanse and heal the inner body and outer body. So also the fact that you are pile 2, the hawk is 2 and 20. So we have 22, 222. It could be showing up a lot for you. That could be a sign or a signal from your guides. Pay attention to your thoughts, your surroundings. What, words are you hearing, or what is your attention being drawn in that moment? So the card is the wanderer, the traveler, and the apprentice. For the pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life, but the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. That's Uranus. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. Yet when this archetype awakens, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door towards a new reality. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon, your spirit needs it. Even in the stillness of meditation, the pilgrim feels the movement of the heart toward what it loves. And maybe that's what you're getting clarity about too. Some of you are getting in touch with what is it that I really love or get joy out of in life? What do I want to travel towards? What is time to leave behind me? What cycle have I completed and now I'm off onto the next level? I think, there is a mountain depicted here. I always thought this looked like legs, but this is actually a mountain. So I'm seeing like the photo negative for the first time. All right, your alchemy card is dissolution. All right, so some of you may be coming from pile 1, or if you were torn between these two piles, maybe you should check that out. But this is number 65, Solutio. So it's like a dove. It looks like it's another bird. More air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And messenger birds too. But dissolution is number 65, which reduces to 11. And another 11 is a Roman numeral 2, so it could be seen as another one of those. But the title of the card is Surrender, Dissolving, and Formlessness. Well, this is what we're doing. We should be doing releasing at the full moon lunar eclipse. Solutio is the deep, greatest alchemical operation of water. It represents the form becoming formless, that which is solid dissolving into liquid. In many alchemical texts, it is the first operation and summarizes the heart of alchemy, as is the axiom, dissolve to unite. For our purposes, it is important to know Solutio never involves a dissolving of definitions, identities, and labels. The strongholds of the ego drown in the emotional realm of water. We dive back to the beginning, the prima materia. This operation is humbling and disorienting and oftentimes feels as though the self we knew has disappeared. Who are we now? How will others describe us? When these questions are afoot, the alchemical magic of Solutio is underway. By surrendering to the waves, we unite with the primordial essence and return to our deepest self. So this journey that the pilgrim is on feels more like an identity or ego trip that you're on of self-discovery. And water is always in motion, much like our emotions. Solutio requires us to let the tears flow, to soften the edges, to soak in the healing waters of our feelings. So I did the monthly readings by sign, and maybe if you watched that and your sign, the element of water came up when I used these magic cards, but it came up for many signs. I feel like this is a huge emotional release. Of course, the moon is feminine, ruled by water, and there's going to be a lot of purging, releasing, kind of emotionally sensitive time for a lot of people around the full moon. So try to have compassion with yourself and other people as they might be going through something and they may not even been understanding it or comprehending where it's coming from. So anyway, the moon, here it is. Pay attention or take note of intuitive messages. I know you will be. Your emotions are so strong this month. I mean, they are in tune. There's nothing that's going to slip by you. Like you're not going to miss a detail, like the hawk said, You're not going to get overlooked. But with all these number 2s showing up, 2 is the high priestess card in the tarot. So, and its ruler is the moon. So also Pisces, just extremely spiritual. This is deep cleansing. This is lifetimes or generations of karma or something that's being dissolved. Like, I really feel like I want to cry right now. I don't know. It's 5 days before this full moon, and I already know, like, it's going to be rough for me. I didn't even pick this pile, but I already feel it. So if you can, take some time to yourself and just meditate, relax, let it go, or take a cleansing bath, a salt bath for the full moon. It's going to feel a lot better afterward. Okay, let's see what your Queen of the Moon, or not Queen of the Moon, excuse me, Goddess Guidance is. Ma'at, fairness, Libra, air sign. The situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Let me go back there. Okay, so we have another symbol of a dove, peace. There could be peace between you and somebody else. Libra does rule the 7th house of partnerships, relationships. White feathers are being dropped for you too, another white bird. There's doves all around her, actually. Lilies as well. But, of course, the myth being weighing your heart against a feather, your heart's going to feel a lot lighter after this emotional cleanse. Drink a lot of water a few days before and after the full moon to keep things flushed out. As the toxins are being released, you want to make sure that you're keeping it clean and cleared out. But it's going to help rebalance those inner energies. There's some chakras that are out of alignment. This bowl, it looks like a singing bowl to me. Sound healing can be very beneficial during this time. I recommend a channel called Temple Sounds. I think it's all lowercase, 2 words. It's phenomenal. And he's got a lot of videos to choose from to pick which chakra you want to work with and combinations of them. But anyway, there's other modalities, whatever you listen to, solfeggio frequencies. There's something that will help you realign within. Okay, so your Rose Oracle, the fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, and secret beginnings. So this winter, I think, is going to be a very powerful restorative time for you. In the Northern Hemisphere, where we have the fall equinox, September 22nd. So the nights will be getting longer, darker, colder. But that is also the period of life that you're coming into. Being able to draw within. That's only going to add to your potency to manifest. Giving yourself proper rest and having the ability to rest once this cleanse is complete. All right, some tarot cards to add to your message, please, for pile 2. I'm going to zoom out again here so you can add another row. There's one that fell down. Okay, indolence, yes, the 8 of Cups. This is Saturn in Pisces. I believe we still have Saturn conjunct Neptune in Pisces, so things, of course, could have been very confusing. They are for a lot of us right now. But Pisces, that 12th house ruled by the moon. Saturn there, again, some blockage from resistance, some complication or dissatisfaction. So this is showing temporary success, but without further results, things thrown aside as soon as they're gained, something that's not lasting even in the matter at hand. Journeying from place to place, and right behind it we have the Pilgrim card talking about a journey. Some of you have may felt lost or transient in your spiritual quest. Misery and repining without cause, seeking after riches, instability, success abandoned, decline of interest. So not all your cups are full. They're full down here, but not up there. So there's whatever you've achieved so far has not been to your satisfaction. But there's a striving for the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Cups. But it's been held back. It's been kind of maybe, again, held back by these delusions, by the confusion that Neptune's bringing. But all that's getting cleared up here where we have, Ma'at, Libra, Aquarius, the bright moon shining on the truth. So what other tarot message does pile 2 need? Number 8, infinity, being caught in a loop. We have the Ace of Discs. Okay, breaking out. New pattern, new beginning. The Death card. Transformation, change, transition, Scorpio season. Ooh. Swiftness, Mercury showing up now. We have, again, Uranus, the higher octave of Mercury, and he's stationing retrograde, but Mercury will be conjunct the new moon solar eclipse on September 21st. And here we have 8 and 8, 88. Mercury takes 88 days to travel around the sun. So maybe see where Mercury is impacting your chart, or it could be then again referring to the 8th house of Scorpio. Death and transformation, the Hanged Man. Yeah, right before death is stagnation, is feeling stuck or lost or disappointed before these messages come in and change everything and give you a new beginning. This Ace of Discs to plant in the fertile void. So we have the Two of Wands underneath that, and then I also see the star. That's Aquarius, where this lunar eclipse is coming through. But Dominion with the Mars and Aries, that's taking action, movement forward through these. Usually they're two parallel wands, one in the earth and one in the sky. So things are connected now. Things are running smoothly, like battery terminals being connected. The gate is opening. All right, so we have the journey show up, or the pilgrim. We have release. Yeah, did we say in the dissolution? Release. Surrender to the flow. Release your tears too. And then money. Yeah, that's the outcome. We had the Ace of Coins, right? But also a cautionary tale, you know, things that as soon as you acquire them, you're getting rid of them. So it feels like money slipping through your fingers. So just be careful with that, with financial transactions or overspending. And underneath we have the star showing up again. Aquarius. Expect the unexpected. But also there's a balance here. Releasing money makes room for more money, or releasing fears about losing money is also what's bringing more in. The Two of Wands is a portal. It's a gateway. It's another 11. Another 2. Well, we started this reading with a 2 and we end it with a 2. But let's get your magic cards here. Okay, the festival creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. It does feel like there's a huge change going on here. Like after this release happens, there'll be it'll be reflected on the outside. I see like new shoes, new clothes, new haircut. You know, we're coming into a new season, September 22nd. So there's like, I see you stepping out, going out, celebrating, meeting up with friends. Fire, the element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. We ended with Mars and Aries. That's all fire. So, one enchanted evening. All right, so something, maybe some of you are also working with candle magic. It's going to work, and wishes come true, because that's underneath. Rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. One enchanted evening. So something to celebrate at night in the darkness. There will be a celebration. Maybe you'll be going to an eclipse party or a full moon party or something like that. But it could be a very lucky evening for you as well. All right, I think that's all I have for you, Pile 2. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye. Hello, Pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose number 8, the Otter. So we just finished the 8th month, August. The 8's the infinity symbol that you see above the head of the magician and the strength card in tarot. It also has to do with the movement of the sun in the sky. So we have the fall equinox, September 22nd, and that's the center point of the 8. So it's a rebalancing and a coming together. The halfway point, equal day and night. So the Otter card is called Woman Medicine. So you might be working on healing feminine energy. But it says, Otter, so playful, the coquettes by the stream, the medicine of woman, the realized dream. The medicine held by the otter is a set of lessons in female energy. This applies to both men and women, as all of us have female sides. The otter's hide is very soft and used to make medicine bags for powerful women because it represents balanced female energy. Otter is very caring of its young and will play for hours performing all types of acrobatics if lived on land, but always has a home near water. The elements of earth and water are the female elements. At home in both of these elements, Otter is the personification of femininity. Long, sleek, and graceful, Otter is the true coquette of the animal world. Otter is always on the move and is very curious. Unlike other animals, otters will not start a fight unless it is attacked first. This joyful little creature is adventurous and assumes that all other creatures are friendly until proven otherwise. These character traits are the beauty of the balanced female side, the side of ourselves that creates a space for others to enter our lives without preconceptions or suspicions. Otter teaches us that balanced female energy is not jealous or catty. It is sisterhood, content to enjoy and to share the good fortune of others. Anchored in the understanding that all accomplishments are worthwhile for the whole tribe, Otter people express joy for others. Long ago, in tribal law, if a woman were widowed, her sister would offer her own husband to the widow as a lover to keep her from drying up and not using her creative urges. This is Otter medicine too. Envy, or the fear of being replaced, has no space in Otter's balanced understanding or sharing goodness. Woman energy without games or control is a beautiful experience. It is the freeness of love without jealousy. It is the joy of loving each other's people's children and their accomplishments as much as you love your own. It may be the time to examine your feelings about sharing the bounty of your life with others. Otter may be saying that the finer qualities of woman need to be striven for in both men and women so that the unity of spirit can be achieved. This would involve the destruction of jealousy and of all the acts of anger which stem from that fear. It would mean keeping the hawk eye on your ego and maintaining total trust. Okay, pile 2 was the hawk, so if you were drawn to that reading as well, you can watch that too. It would mean a world full of people coming together to honor the right of each person to be. If you have drawn this symbol, Otter may be telling you to become a playful child and to simply allow things to unfold in your own life. It may be time to stop your addiction to worrying. Otter also teaches the importance of not hanging on to material things that would bind you or become a burden. In looking at how you can learn from Otter's habits, you might look at the joyousness of the receptive side of your nature. Have you given yourself a gift recently? Have you received any messages in your meditations? Become Otter and more gently into the river of flow. Flow with the waters of the universe. This is the way of balanced female receptive energy. Honor it. In doing so, you will discover the power of woman. So you might have been drawn to all 3 readings today. If that's the case, you'll find that they all share similar elements there Anyway, so let's move on to your archetype card. We have the Venom. All right, so 63. The Otter did mention about letting go of fear, negativity, jealousy, control. So Venom is, poisonous. It's whatever poisons our soul or brings us out of balance, from our feminine ability, our healed feminine. Probably because somebody passed that negative charge onto you. Somebody bit you, poisoned your energy field, or made you feel that way. Maybe you've had problems with anger in the past or reactivity instead of responding. So your alchemy card is gold. All right, that's perfect. Transmutation, right? The lead into gold. We're changing venom into gold. What was once your weakness has become your strength. Okay, let's move and see your eagle. See from a higher perspective. Okay, again, you might be coming from pile 2. Your healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It is safe to soften. Again, safe to be in that feminine, healed feminine. So this goddess energy, we have butterfly, maiden, transformation. You're experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. All right, we're going to start back at the beginning here with number 63 for Venom. There, we'll get a wider picture there. While I'm finding that, I just, thought about the fact that you can use venom to make anti-venom. And in fact, that's the only way you can get the medicine is to use the poison. And that has to do with the transmutation you see in the gold there. So number 63. Is the poison, the curse, the toxin, much of our dismay. The venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it is built into our every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, there is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps a relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. The spreading of the venom is like a chain reaction. When we strike others, it's likely we have ourselves been struck. Break the cycle. When you harm another, you harm yourself. Keep in mind, this goes for our Earth as well, with cosmic consequences. All right, so some of you could be working on a detox program. Again, water came up in a lot of those monthly readings by sign that I just posted, but it could have to be, flushing the poison out of your life following this eclipse is a great time to release, cut off connections with toxic relationships or your own toxic behaviors so you can shift into this healed feminine energy of the Otter. And we have number 26, gold. And this culture spends so much time talking about the toxic masculine, but they never really focus on the toxic feminine because it exists. Like everything has a light and shadow, but it's like, why is it not vilified as much as the toxic masculine? But there's other reasons for that. But anyway, just something for us to contemplate, whether male or female. It's like your own toxic feminine side, your own shadow feminine could be the source of the problem, or it could be, what's causing a blockage in your own life. So being able to forgive and yourself and others for behaving that way is going to do you a world of wonder. So we have number 26, Aurum or gold. Illumination, splendor, culmination, and the 79th element on the periodic table is gold, and this eclipse is taking place on, well, most of the world writes the date 7/9, the 7th day of the 9th month. So, and 79 is the 22nd prime number, so we have 22, the master builder number. And some of you might be coming from pile 2, which saw a lot of those repeating numbers too. So anyway, the alchemist gold is no ordinary gold. It's not found in rings or coins or necklaces. It is a substance buried deep within, sometimes referred to as gold of the wise, philosophic gold, the ethereal stone, or the divine quintessence among countless other names. But for our purposes, we seek not the physical metal, but the mystical essence within each alchemist. How do we recognize it? It mimics qualities of the metal itself, soft and radiant, and its planetary counterpart, the sun, warm and bright. It's no wonder gold is also associated with the heart. When this card arrives, there is something of incredible value at hand. It is marvelous and rare. Cherish it, get to know it, its properties, and its source. The gold card carries a distinct shadow. If mistaken for a purely physical material, it can lead to greed and excess, causing the alchemists to lose their way. Reverence is the key. So your gold is entirely different from someone else's. It is important for the alchemists to respect their own unique journey toward a righteous and resplendent goal. In some wisdom traditions, gold is seen as a nectar, a sap, a honey-like substance coming from trees, bees, and even the pineal gland. Open yourself to gold's infinite sources. All right. All right, so the eagle card, see from a higher perspective, the eagle, I think of Jupiter's eagle in the Greek mythology. So his eagle was actually Hermes, the messenger god, Mercury. So this could be, again, messages from higher self, from your guides who are able to see further and deeper in every direction than your physical ego self is able to. Or they may be opening a portal to this, or maybe as a reward it feels like for getting rid of some of this venom, or perhaps that's just what's going to clear up your sight. Your third eye is going to continue to clear and open the more you detox. This lunar eclipse will help elevate your consciousness, connect you to the crown chakra here. We have the rose above the woman's head. But also it's Uranus, the sky father, Aquarius, the ruler of Aquarius, where this eclipse takes place. It's an air sign of wisdom and expansion, because when I spoke of Jupiter, Jupiter's the planet of expansion. You could have a lot of natal planets in Gemini right now being activated by Jupiter's transit through there. It's going to go retrograde in November, so it'll be spending, I think, almost a full year or a little more in Gemini. So there's a lot of wisdom that's coming in, because Mercury seeks, and Gemini in general seeks communication and wisdom and truth. And you can't see the truth if you're too busy engaging in this toxic shadow behavior. All right, so in animal medicine, both Native American and Celtic, the eagle draws his power and strength from the sun. Okay, sun is a ruler of Leo, the solar plexus. We have the sun in Leo for this lunar eclipse, shining the light on the full moon of Aquarius. He is a powerful, strong, and courageous guide who is able to see for miles. He approaches all things with intelligence, grace, and poise, and has the capacity to make a plan from a higher space before putting it into action. When the eagle card appears in a reading, it shows that you have a real ability to take things higher and to move beyond the limitations of your ego and your selfish desires. Eagle medicine swirls around you, encouraging you to recognize that your views or vision may be limited at this time. There's a chance that your own desperation, needs, or ego could be blocking you from seeing the potential in your current situation. If there are other people involved, you are being guided to see things from everyone's perspective. If you are feeling the need for someone or something to change, how can you take the higher road? Know that if you have intentions that aren't for the highest good, it will only hold you back. Eagle medicine can help you change this. The eagle brings the energy of healing and love directly from the heart of Father Sky and invites you to do all things from a place of love. So the healing is happening, I think, through communication too. I think you're going to reconnect with probably some people you haven't spoken to in a while, feminine members of your family perhaps, or even loved ones who have passed. You could be getting communications or signs from them around this full moon. But yeah, this shift, this transformation is going to come from your ability to see the situation and yourself from multiple angles, from higher perspectives. Okay, so allow the healing to happen. And let's get a couple tarot cards for you. All right, and what's underneath the deck? All right, the Miser, the Four of Coins. So again, it could be an older female energy that had this venom, or it could be where it stems from. But the Four of Coins is typically Sun and Capricorn energy, stability. It could have to do with work, some conflict there, or overworking has maybe pulled you out of your feminine energy of receiving. Let's see, the Outsider, Five of Coins. Yeah, Four of Coins, Five of Coins. We have moment to moment, Two of Coins, more earth energy, new vision, the Hanged Man. Well, new vision and higher perspective. And then patience. These are all coins in a major arcana, right? And here we have the moon phases. It looks like a time-lapse photo of a lunar eclipse, right? I know it's depicting the phases of the moon and the gestation, but having patience for things to give birth. And birth is a form of transformation, so it may not have only to deal with healing mother energy, but, you know, when you heal that, you're healing your ability to generate, to give birth, to manifest, because that's the power of the feminine, is to bring new life and new vision, new relationships into this world, new partnerships with yourself or people in your workplace, new vision, being able to give birth to a new vision for Earth, for Mother Earth. That's very Aquarian, you know, it's just like for the 11th house, for the people, for the greater good, you know, if it's, like I said, if you're not acting in the greatest good. Okay, so it said, yeah, know that if you have intentions that aren't for the highest good, it will only hold you back. Eagle medicine can help you change this. Okay, so I think a lot of you are going to change the perspective of, yes, you may have been a victim at one point in your life. Your feminine energy might have been victimized, taken advantage of, but that doesn't mean you have to stay in that state of being. You know, this is a younger person, a child, perhaps. You don't have to stay in that limited mindset. Moment to moment, there's movement here. The Two of Coins typically depicts a figure 8, and we started with the number 8. 88's a number of Mercury, how many days it takes to go around the sun, but the two coins, the bouncing between two perspectives, you know, seeing things from both sides or was it two sides of the same coin? I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe that means something to you, or you'll hear somebody say that. But the movement of the Two of Coins in this deck, again, walking on air, kind of like very hovering. There's a lightness, there's a quickness, there's no heaviness anymore. His arms are even spread out like an eagle. This fence isn't even going to matter once you grow wings. So this healing is happening, you know, based on the new vision you have of yourself, of your situation, of the people involved. I'm going to get a journey card for you. A couple of those, please. But movement is happening. You have a brand new opportunity at the end of the month. It's a new season, September 22nd, and it's a new moon, the 21st. So the process, yeah. What is it? Trust the process? It's safe to soften. So yeah, you're in progress right now. This is, you're in the cocoon as we speak. And, you know, they go through a pretty violent transformation while they're in there. Their whole body liquefies before they reassemble into the beautiful butterflies we all appreciate. So there's maybe again a need to draw in, to be patient. Release, showing up again. Huge emotional release could be part of it. Again, releasing the venom, the toxin. Break the cycle. Don't pass the venom on anymore. Be open. Yeah, be open to receiving communication, not just material abundance, but it feels like somebody's trying to make a connection with you. Take the leap. Again, trust the process. Have faith that all is going to come in divine timing and seasons. All right, so it looks like the 22nd autumn equinox, and there's a light in the dark. So that's keeping hope, keeping faith. We're heading towards a new beginning here. It could be a waxing or waning, but if you're producing, creating, it looks like a waxing. So right after that new moon solar eclipse is the 22nd. Things are going to start growing again. The light is going to be returning to your life as you break out of that dark cocoon. All right, let's go on. Finish with these magic cards. Wishes come true. Rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. It's been coming up a lot. Dragonfly, there's another light in the dark. You bring light to the world. 100%, you're gold. It's ruled by, it's the sun. You are the light, and may light in the dark. Insight opens a third eye to strengthen intuition. And what do we have with the eagle eye, right? The eyesight. Open your eyes, pay attention to the details, the signs, the synchronicities. And abracadabra with wings, more wings. Fantastic good fortune and lucky chances. All right. Well, that's all I have for you, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading, but you will get your wings, right, at the end. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful full moon eclipse. Bye for now.